And welcome back to Big Bob's MTG. Today is a little bit different. So these boxes of M21 are opened. We are going to go through them because these are the boxes that I purchased through Rudy at Alpha Investments. If you haven't seen the video, the link will be in the description down below. But I just wanted to recap and go through what we received from Rudy and what cards I get to add to the collection. Now, I am a super huge fan of this current set, M21. So it is really exciting in order to get all these cards. I'm really excited about the mythics that he opened up on camera. So let's see here. There we go. Lots and lots of cards. So he did pack these with lots of bubble wrap and make sure they're not going to be moving around much. So let's see now. We'll start off with our stacks. It looks like this is all rares and whatnot, so we'll save this for last. We'll go through some of these cards and kind of sort them out a bit more. Looks like this is non-foil, non-foil. So we're going to keep the non-foil alt art over here. These are foil. There's a rare as well. Foil alt arts are right there. Tokens. These Garuk gore horns that have zero text on them for some reason. They're just weird. Let's see here. And foily. A land are always over here. Let's see now. We have a lot of commons and uncommons too. Land. Now all I am doing is sitting at my desk that I cleared off my keyboard and mouse, and I'm just using the deck mat that I typically use for my computer stuff as the mat for displaying this. So it's not perfect, but it works. Go through these. Lots and lots of these little foily lands. And I'll sort them out later on. I just wanted to get them sorted up and out, make sure that we can go through some of the good ones that I have been using in Arena, as well as get the alternate art sorted out. Let's see. I'm going to put that one there. Like I said, we're going to be going through some of these that have been being used and how they're being used. So alt art non-foil. All these are alt art non-foil. And then there's a foil one mixed in there. Non-foil, 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 foil, non-foil, non-foil. And then in the middle is a foil. Okay. And then these look like, oh, no. So that's a card. It's been used. Tokens. All these new tokens are pretty awesome. They're all shimmery, shiny, and the tokens themselves are double-sided too. So if you flip them over, they have a cat and a nice little damage line, if you can't see that. That's great. Looks like all the ones on the back side have a track line across them all, so that's my favorite. All of them. Wow. That is terrible. And are they in the same place? Yeah, they're identically in the same place, so something was going on with the backs of these cards. Maybe you don't see them? I don't know. Do you see them on the back of the cards themselves? I can see a faint line, but not like a damage mark Like, it would just look like it was slightly used, but like, this is so obviously scored, just barely scored. Luckily, I've only seen this on the backside of the foil token, so there must be something wrong with that machine itself. But like, do I see anything here? I don't see any damage on these at all from printing, so I don't know why that seems to be the problem. Okay, let's see here. The land look good too. They're clean. I don't see any damage across the land either. I mean, looking through it, no, I don't see any score marks in the back of these either. It has to be something with the way those double-sided foils are done that is making them like that. I can see a little bit of track marking there. Yep, here too, right here, right on the very, very edge corner. I don't know if y'all can see that, but yep, right here too, they have a very, very slight printing damage. This one actually looks like it has like a few lines that are coming across it. So that's a bummer. So let's keep going. Just pulling out the ones that I've seen used. That one definitely. Gore. See, here's what the Grix Gorehorn looks like normally. And then here is the alternate art, non-foil, and then the foil one looks like that. So it's like they forgot to put text on the bottom part of it. Yeah, the rest of these are not used too often. So let's continue on. So the regular one we'll put here. We'll put this one here and that one there. What are these here for? Oh, still need to be sorted. Wall of runes. Turn to nature. Yeah, that's about it. Did I go through these? I should have. No, I did not. Totally not. All right, let's see here. We're gonna pull out some more commons and uncommons that are being used a lot. From my experience in Arena, and I'll show you what and how they're being used as well. This one has a little bit of track marking up on top there. Lofty Denial I see used. This guy is used, but not in normal sets. Drafting mostly. Beautiful cards though. My least favorite looking card. I absolutely detest how this card looks. That one, and that's good. All set. So we're going to set the normal cards up there. Now, I'm going to put things off to the side. Tokens can come here. Oh, let's see if this token does. Yep, still has that track mark across the very middle of it. It sucks. Okay, so this looks like it's a stack of rares. So we're going to go through these and kind of talk about them one by one. Grix Harbinger is pretty much in every pack. Every collector's pack I've seen at least like 4 to 6 of these opened up. So it's kind of fun to have those in there. Cultivate, this is actually a normal uncommon. But in the collector's booster packs, it's a rare, and it was given an alternate no border type of art, which we'll see the foil version as well here, coming up here in a minute. Teferi's Ageless Insight I see played a lot. When it comes down to drawing and self-mill, it really comes in handy to draw those extra 35,000 cards. Scavenging Ooze, I haven't seen played too much for the simple fact that it's a late game card, so it's really good to nuke their graveyard once it's out into play, but you know, if you get it out early, and you start milling the deck slowly but surely, it kind of creates itself a big bullseye on top of it and gets killed off really quick. There's another Cultivate, Terraria's Ageless Insight. So that's 3 Fairy's Ageless Insight, 1 foil. Solemn Simulacrum. I have a number of these from watching his video. There's 2 of them right there. Basari's Lieutenant, or Basri's Lieutenant, sorry. There's that foil Cultivate. I love how this card looks. The foil one looks awesome. Here's another Gruach Harbinger. Gadrick, the Crowned Scourge. I'm going to move these up here. How about that? Yeah. Sanctum of All, Borderless. See the Truth. All right, so See the Truth is one of those cards that I have been trying to use and break in its way. Now it says, look at the top 3 cards of your library and put one of those cards into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. If this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand instead. So if you can use it with one of the Apex I know has a card that says you can cast a creature spell, or not a creature spell, you can cast a spell with holy shit. Okay. There is an Apex that you can cast this from your graveyard without paying its mana cost when you mutate onto it. So if you can mutate it and then choose this as your card, you draw 3 cards instead, which is awesome. Well, actually, it's not draw. It's put them, each of them, into your hand instead, not draw. So it does not trigger the draw mechanic. Karvek, the Spiteful, I haven't seen played at all. I've seen a few janky decks on other YouTuber sites, and that's about it. But fighting it, it's not very competitive. It's too much of an easy target. 4 mana for a 3/2, where other creatures get -1/-1. Who cares? Might be really good, though, against, what is it, Goblins? That'd be a really good one. Let's see here. We have the Maze Mine Tome, Borderless. I see that one used in a lot of the Scry type of decks. Primal Might, haven't seen played a single time. Sublime Epiphany, I play with that one a lot, just in type of counterspell decks where I'm trying to copy and counter and everything. It works really well. Sporeweb Weaver, we've been over that card before, and we had an infinite combo deck about that. So there he is, the pack leader for all other dogs. I haven't really gotten dogs and cats to work yet, but hoping to try it out a little bit more here. Speaker of the Heavens, creating 4/4 White Angels if you have 7 or more starting health than your starting health. Great card. Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. This guy will live forever. He is one of the cards that will be played forever. It will remain around because of his ability, where if you gain life, you deal damage. It's awesome. Temple of Misery. I don't even know where to put this, but maybe I'll just give it away to somebody if somebody wants it. Ghostly Pilferer. I played with this guy a few times just to try this guy out a bit. His mechanic is a bit cumbersome, and you can't get the 2 colorless costs down with anything like Kahira or even the, what is it? The Biomancer's Familiar. It just doesn't work. Volcanic Salvo, I still have not seen used. It's more of a draft card, something to pick up to deal lots of damage. Feline Sovereign, great card, but really hard to play. It actually works really well with Jorel, which I think there's some in here, so we'll continue and find out. Fabled Passage, I share everybody's sentiment that I'm not sure why they reprinted it. Great card, just don't know why they reprinted it. Temple of Triumph, or Tears. Another Sublime Epiphany Borderless, that's beautiful. Heroic Intervention. 9 lives. Is one of the cards that I plan on making and breaking, because as soon as that card came out, everybody ran to Role Reversal, threw this into play, and then Role Reversaled it to your opponent's control. Fun card. Thieves Guild Enforcer. Really beautiful card. I really like how it starts as a 1/1 for 1, then builds itself into a 3/2 for 1. At the same time, it has flash and mills 2 cards of the opponent. Great card. Another Primal Might. What do you know? A Garruk Harbinger. A foil Temple of Epiphany. Box Topper, See the Truth. That's a great card. Double Vision. I have yet to master this card, but I did use it a few times and it ended up being just silly, stupid, awesome. It was really fun to play, but it was it was definitely a little bit of a cumbersome card to play with. Jarell, the Wanvuli Recluse. This card is the card that I was talking about for the cat person. Box Topper, Spore Web Weaver. That's a good one. Shacklegeist. I use it because it's a spirit and it has its ability. But as a flyer, I think it's a little bit lacking. 2/2 for 2. I wish it was like, I wish it cost 3 and it's like 4/3 or 4/2 even. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. Another Gadrick, the Crown Scourge. Glorious Anthem. Really beautiful card. Give all white creatures, or all creatures you control, +1/+1. A Temple of Misery. Oh, man. Throat's drying out like crazy.
I did. I even came down with my...
Oh, that's right. You did come down with your toothbrush. See, I brush my teeth.
Well, I got called my name.
That's not true. Okay, sorry about that. I have a little bit of a dry throat today, so it's all good. Normal foil Scavenging Ooze, looking pretty as ever. Jorel Box Topper version. She's looking good at that one. I just like the foiling of these Box Topper or all the full art versions. Containment Priest, the non-alternate art version. Demonic Embrace, beautiful card. I've only seen very few people play it. Now, when Demonic Embrace is in the graveyard, you can pay for it to come back, which I think would be good if there was some benefit to it coming back over and over and over again, which I think you could do with things with Constellation, because when it entered the battlefield, you could gain all that life back and create a creature for it to go on to next time. All right, so the Hooded Blightfang. Now, this one I have seen played quite a bit, and that's because all Death Touch creatures turn into lose 1 life, gain 1 life. Opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life creatures, which makes it really good at gaining all that health back that you lose for things like Demonic Embrace even. Storming Entity cost 3 mana less, 2 generic, 1 island, as long as you cast an instant or sorcery this turn. So if you cast an Opt, well, you're in the clear. Cast it for 2. Or just, yeah, 2 mana. Great card. Really fun to play. And it has prowess. Foil Box Topper Temple of Milady. Spark Hunter Manticore. One of the things that I actually put into one of the new decks that's coming up here sideboard because it has the potential for Planeswalkers. When it comes down to Teferi, Master of Time, he likes to phase things out in the middle of my attack phase. Well, this guy prevents that. And he can deal 1 damage to any Planeswalker with 1 colorless. Beautiful card. Just make sure they don't steal your Karn if you use Karn at all, because you can't activate this guy anymore. Really frustrating. Barin, Tolarian Archmage. This card is awesome. It returns a creature to their hand, or your hand even, if you need to get it out of there in a pinch. And if it returns to your hand at the end of your turn, you draw a card. Really awesome card, really robust, and has a lot of versatility to it. Fabled Passage, foil, full art box topper version. Thieves Guild Enforcer, foil. Sanctum of All. Now, I have seen lots of shrine decks, none of which are too good. I made a shrine deck when these shrines first hit because they were in standard. And then I tried them out in historic as well, which made them really fun. But the shrine decks that I'm seeing recently rely way too heavy on other cards around shrines without putting a lot of emphasis on the shrines themselves, which then detracts from the purpose of the deck. Temple of Epiphany, don't care because it's a Scryland. Another foil 9 lives, that's great, good to have. Nyambi, Esteemed Speaker, I like this card a lot. I have yet to really use it too much, just for the simple fact that I don't really play white-blue too often. I really have to go outside my comfort zone to do that. Glorious Anthem box topper version. That's a beautiful card. Temple of Milady, box topper version once again. Foil Temple of Triumph. Sabria, the Tulzidi Caravaner. I have yet to use her as well, but I probably should make a red weenie deck and see if we can sneak in some huge creatures. We'll see. Box Topper Sublime Epiphany. I love this. This looks beautiful. It's gorgeous. The foiling is really done well. I don't see too many imperfections on it, other than maybe some edging here on the left-hand side, so it's not too bad. Idol of Endurance I haven't seen played too often, but on the outward scale of when this is played, it is something to worry about. When it comes down to Luris decks, this card actually doesn't fit because it costs 3. But Luris doesn't have to be your guy in your sideboard. If you don't put Luris in your sideboard and you just leave him in your deck as a normal card, this card works great because then you exile things that cost 3 or less, and then when you pay 2 and tap it, you can play one of those for free. Very nice card. Very beautiful. Stormweb Weaver, once again, foily normal art. Peer into the Abyss. Just the absolute craziest looking card so far in 2020. Love it. Its box topper versions are awesome. So the pack leader, once again. See the Truth box topper, number 2. Demonic Embrace, not box topper version. Spark Hunter, Masticore. Another Hooded Blightfang. Speaker of the Heavens again. A Barin, Tolarian Archmage again. Another Thieves Guild Enforcer. And now here comes some of the alt art, alt bordered art cards that are in this set. So Liliana's Standard Bearer. There's 2 of those, the foil version as well. Chandra's Incinerator, the foil version. Basri's Lieutenant. Chandra's Incinerator non-foil. Liliana's Standard Bearer. Containment Priest, alternate art. Really awesome card. I did build a deck around this. If you guys check out my video list, you will find it. It is one of the more dominating deck archetypes in this current meta. Solemn Simulacrum, 2 more of those guys, a foil and a non-foil alternate art. That's pretty awesome. Of course, a good Rook's Harbinger. Scavenging Ooze, Basri Lieutenant again. The foil Containment Priest, as well as its counterpart, the non-foil one. Oh, what did I do? Those go there. He looks blue, that's why I put him there. Why did I do that? And now we're to the actual mythics that were pulled by Rudy himself. So, Chandra, Heart of Fire is our first mythic. Massacre Worm, alternate, full art. Just a beautiful looking card. A foil full art Basri Ket. Terror of the Peaks full art. Liliana, Waker of the Dead foil. Garruk Unleashed foil. Teferi, Master of Time full art. And this is his second art. So this is the alt art, much like Basri. Now, there were a few other Teferis that were pulled in here. So let's take a look at the differences. So first off, he's in a different stance, a different position. Then you'll notice that this is really purple. All the rings around him are very purple. This one's much more blue. It also has a different border around it. So those are the, those are the different styles that you can find in this. When it comes down to the mana symbols, this one looks the most dim. And then we're looking at the second one is the second brightest. And then these ones really pop. They look very, very vivid. They look very, very just vibrant. It's really cool. I like that a lot. So we have another Basri Ket, not full art, but we did get a foil version of that guy. Mangara the Diplomat. I have not seen him used too often. Now this I've seen used a lot. Grim Tutor. I haven't seen the foil alt art used inside of Arena at all, but I see this card used all the time in any black deck. Garruk Unleashed foil once again. A foil Grim Tutor again. It's beautiful cards. So in those boxes, I got 2 foil box topper Grim Tutors. 1 regular Garruk Unleashed. A full art Discontinuity. A Basri Ket. Alt art alt bordered non-foil. A Grim Tutor full art non-foil. And a foil Basri Ket, normal version. And then a full art Garruk Unleashed to tie it all together. So we got a play set of Garruk Unleashed. We got 3 out of 4 Teferi, Master of Time. We got, let's see here, 2 Manticores. Yep, 2 Manticores and 4 Solemn Simulacrum. We got 3 Grim Tutors, 2 foil, and 1 regular alt art. A foil Liliana. On top of that, we got a play set and +1 of Basri Ket, a play set of the Containment Priest. Just awesome. So, that is great. Let's see here. We got 2 Gadrick. Or 1 Gadrick? No, 2 of them. Yep, 2 Gadrick. 1 Terror of the Peaks. And 2 Chandra's Incinerator. As well as 2 Sanctum of All. 1 foil, box topper version. And 1 full art non-foil. Now let's go over some of these uncommons that are being used a lot in the standard games right now. So we're going to start from the top here. We have the Sanctum of Stone Fangs, Sanctum of Shattered Heights. Let's see here. Got to find all these guys. Sanctum of Tranquil Light, as well as I can't find the rest of them. Well, hang on here. We can get them. We can get them. So we're looking for the blue and the green one. Another thing that I think is funny is they reprinted Thrashing Bronzodon. And if anybody knows that card, it's actually not too bad to throw in a deck here or there. Especially with like the dinosaur tribal things now. Oh, do I not? There we go. Sanctum of Calm Waters. And last but not least, Need to find that green one, don't we? Alright. Green, green, green. Where are you? It's an uncommon, so we gotta find it somewhere. What are you guys doing here? Just sitting here hiding? Oh, I guess I didn't sort these ones at all. Oh no, these are the alt art ones, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, well, I didn't actually get a green shrine, so that's a sad day. But when paired with the Sanctum of All, the shrine decks are very powerful. They're very fun to play if you can do it right. I do have I have 2 videos about that. I'll put the links in the description below. Alright, so let's talk about the cards that are being used. Scorching Dragonfire. 2 mana for 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker, and then you exile whatever it destroys if it kills it that turn. Great card for those mono red or white red that you need a little bit of extra protection. Alpine Houndmaster, 2/2 for 2. 1 red, 1 white. You go and you find an Alpine Watchdog and an Ignatius Cur. So you can find both of those guys, toss them into your hand, and then you have 2 more creatures in your hand to cast after that. Now, when he attacks, he gets +X/+0 until end of turn, where X is the number of other attacking creatures. Helps really well. Palladium Myrrh. Palladium Myrrh is used in a lot of these decks that have... I've seen them with Ugin mostly, and a lot of the decks that have high mana cost with X's, things with the Stonecoil Serpent, and other things that the Hydras and whatnot, they really are used in those things, because 3 mana for a 2/2 creature with tap and add 2 colorless. Very handy. Life gain decks cannot go without this. Light of Promise. It gives an enchanted creature, whenever you gain life, you put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature. Really mean when it comes down to laying the smackdown on your opponent for how much life you gain. So, Chandra's Pyroling works really well in these mono red. Oh, what is it called again? The Cavalcade of Calamity, where they run in with a bunch of 1/1 creatures. This guy gets +1/+1 and gains double strike until end of turn. And then if you throw, I don't know, Embercleave on top of him, that makes him even more mean and vicious. But 2 mana for a 1/3 with red? That's crazy. Even the Chandra's Spitfire is 3 mana for a 1/3. Dousing Tyrannodon. Now it has Defender, but as long as you control a creature, which includes this itself, if you control a creature with power 4 or greater, then it can attack as though it did not have Defender. So now you have a 4/4 for 2 mana. Really great card. Lofty Denial is one of the counter spells that is used in a lot of the flyer decks. Counter this spell unless its controller plays 1 colorless or generic. If you control a creature with flying, that spell's controller has to pay 4 instead. Garruk's Uprising is used in a lot of those big time green stompy decks, as well as the Conclave Mentor. White and green really benefit off of these 2 cards right here. Now the Conclave Mentor puts extra counters, so any of those counters that are put onto a creature, it puts that many +1. When you go with that 1 brand new Hydra, that any time a counter gets put onto another creature that is not a Hydra, it gets a +1/+1 counter as well. This one puts 2 on that creature and 2 on the other creature. So it is really, really great for buffing up your creatures. And then paired with Garruk's Uprising, you draw a card every time a 4/4 comes into play, and all your creatures have trample. Cultivate. We have seen the alternate art version in our stack of green rares. This is the normal foily version that you can get with the M21. Eliminate is a great card if you're looking to have them suffer for casting little tiny piddly creatures. It destroys the target creature or planeswalker with a converted mana cost 3 or less, and it only costs 2. Great card to have. I see it played all the time to cure the little 1/1 and 1/2 and even the Lurus decks and whatnot. Really cool to have. Basri's Solidarity. Get +1/+1 counters on each creature you control. Like I said, the Conclave Mentor and Garruk's Uprising really go well in these new decks with the Basri Solidarity, giving all creatures +1/+1 counters. So if you have 4 creatures in play and the Hydra, those 4 creatures will get 2 counters if you have the Conclave in play. And then the Hydra would get 2 counters for each creature that gets a +1/+1 counter. So it gets really big really fast. Revitalize was reprinted back from Dominaria. Dominaria had this card in it. I think it was reprinted from another set as well. But gain 3 life, draw a card is paramount, especially when you're doing stuff like Vito, Thorn of the Dusk Rose. He deals 3 damage to a player if you gain that 3 life. Really mean, really awesome. Teferi's Tutelage. This card is played so much with these new mill archetypes. Now, the mill archetypes that used to have mill relied a lot on bouncing stuff in and out of play. Now you can just concentrate on drawing cards, countering spells, and getting over the mill mechanic to your opponent as fast as possible. Really mean paired up with especially things like Teferi's Ageless Insight, where it doubles all the cards that you draw. Even this card, if you had that card out, Teferi's Ageless Insight, and then put this card into play, it enters the battlefield, you draw 2 cards and discard a card. Then you mill 4 cards from your opponent. Just awesome. Village Rites is the final one that I wanted to talk about because it is a 1 cost for an instant draw 2 cards but sacrifice creature spell. This is used immensely and very, very commonly with those mono black decks where they block but then sacrifice their creature out of it. So you'll see it a lot in the Rakdos Sacrifice or the Black Sacrifice where they're sacrificing stuff away in order to bring it back later with either Lurus or something else that brings them out of the graveyard. Really awesome card. It is very cheap, especially if you can make tokens and then just sacrifice the tokens away and draw 2 cards out of it. But that's about it. Just wanted to give you guys a showcase of everything that we acquired from Alpha Investments and Rudy himself. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a great day. And that's all for today. Please like and subscribe and comment down below. Make sure to check out my Patreon to gain access to more exclusive content. I try and post new videos as often as I can and appreciate talking with you about what I'm doing. Don't be shy. Leave a comment here or on my Facebook page. Let's make some fun and amazing decks together. Thank you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a great day.